Three friends graduate from the same high school. They grow up in the same neighborhood. They come from families with similar incomes. They start their adult lives with almost the same opportunities. But 20 years later, their lives look completely different. One of them owns multiple properties and rarely worries about money. Another earns a decent salary, but constantly feels stressed about bills. And the third one is drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck. So what happened? Did one of them suddenly become a genius? Did one of them get extremely lucky? Or did the others simply make bad decisions? The answer is something far more unsettling. Because according to psychologists and behavioral economists, most people stay broke for a reason they never even notice. A hidden system of psychological patterns that quietly controls how they think about money. And once you see these patterns, you start noticing them everywhere. It actually begins much earlier than most people realize, long before someone ever earns their first paycheck. From childhood, we are taught a very specific formula for life. Go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, work hard, and hopefully retire one day. At first, this sounds completely reasonable, but there's something strangely missing from this entire system. For more than a decade, people learn mathematics, science, history, and literature. Yet almost nobody teaches them the most important skill they will use for the rest of their lives: how money actually works. There are no classes about investing, no lessons about financial psychology, no explanation of how wealth is actually created. Instead, most people graduate with one powerful belief, deeply programmed into their minds: if I work harder, I will eventually become financially secure. But that idea hides a dangerous misunderstanding. Because while hard work can increase income, it does not automatically create wealth. The people who eventually become financially free learn something very different. Money grows fastest through ownership, owning businesses, owning investments, owning assets that generate income even when you are not working. But if someone never learns this rule, their income will always be limited by time. And time is the one resource no one can increase. But even when people begin earning money, another psychological trap quietly appears: consumption. Human brains are wired to chase rewards, and modern advertising understands this better than almost any other industry on earth. Every day, people are exposed to thousands of messages designed to trigger a simple emotional reaction. If you buy this, you will feel successful. A luxury car promises status. Designer clothes promise confidence. The newest phone promises identity. And when someone buys these things, something real happens inside the brain. A chemical called dopamine is released. Dopamine creates a short burst of excitement. For a brief moment, the purchase feels like happiness. But then something predictable happens. The feeling fades, and the brain begins searching for the next reward. This creates a cycle psychologists call lifestyle inflation. When income increases, spending increases. A raise leads to a better car. A promotion leads to a bigger apartment. A bonus leads to another expensive purchase. And slowly, almost invisibly, expenses grow to match income. So even though someone is earning more money than ever before, they still feel financially stuck because their lifestyle upgraded, but their wealth never did. Another powerful force keeping millions of people financially trapped is fear. For many people, investing feels dangerous. They hear stories about stock market crashes, economic recessions, people losing everything overnight, so they avoid investing completely. Instead, they keep their money sitting in a savings account where it feels safe. But there is an invisible force slowly working against them: inflation. Every single year, the cost of living rises. Food becomes more expensive. Housing becomes more expensive. Healthcare becomes more expensive. And when money sits still, its value slowly shrinks. In other words, doing nothing with your money can quietly become one of the most expensive decisions you ever make. Meanwhile, investors who understand long-term wealth recognize something important. Markets rise, markets fall, but over long periods of time, they tend to grow. The real advantage is not predicting the market perfectly. It is staying in the system long enough for time and compound growth to do the heavy lifting. But fear prevents millions of people from ever taking that step. And then there is another psychological force that shapes financial decisions every day: social pressure. Human beings constantly compare themselves to others: the car someone drives, the house someone buys, the vacations someone posts online. Psychologists call this status anxiety. People begin making financial decisions not based on logic, but based on appearance. They buy things they cannot truly afford to impress people who are not paying their bills. Social media has amplified this effect dramatically. Every day, millions of people scroll through carefully curated highlights of other people's lives. Luxury hotels, designer fashion, private jets, million-dollar homes. But what those images rarely show is the full story: the loans, the financial stress, or the years of disciplined investing that may have built that lifestyle. Instead, viewers see only the illusion, and many begin chasing it. But perhaps the biggest psychological difference between people who build wealth and those who remain financially stuck comes down to one simple idea: time. Most people think short-term. They want results now, comfort now, pleasure now. But wealth is built through delayed gratification. Saving when others are spending, investing when others are consuming, thinking in decades instead of days. And once someone understands this shift, everything begins to change. Because the moment you stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like an owner, your entire financial future can change.